Hello guys, with the Witchwood release coming in a couple days, I wanted to make a card rating review just for Arena, so keep in mind this is Arena only. Uh, just a review of each class's cards, the neutral cards. I have a rating. It's a fairly common rating. 1 is top tier, 2 is great, 3 is about average, 4 is quite bad, and 5 is unplayable. And we're going to go through each of the class cards, then the neutral cards, and give every single card a rating. And then another thing I'll be doing is, after looking at all the cards for each class, we will be giving the class itself an expansion rating. Basically, how I feel that the class gets snubbed. Did they just get really bad cards? Every single card's bad, or do they have something going for Arena? Is there something to look forward to? Is there like a big boost in their card quality coming in for the next couple years? Because this expansion will be the foundation for what the rest of the expansions will build on, because what we will be receiving here will be around for quite a long time. So this is quite a important expansion for Hearthstone, and let's get right into it. So we're starting off with the Druid cards. I'm pretty sure these things are in alphabetical order in terms of class, so as you'll see, starting Druid, then going down, ending with Warrior. We'll take a look at the first card. So the first card we have here is Witchwood Apple. Add 2 trends to your hand. So unfortunately, the issue with this card is that the trends that you're getting also cost 2 mana. So it's almost like an 8 mana double gangster, or basically, right? It's worse than double gangster because it doesn't have evolved synergies or battle cry synergies. But in terms of stat relevancy, it's an 8 mana double gangster. This card is supposed to be used to kind of fill your hand so that you can combo it with some of the other cards. I am okay looking at some of the other cards. So there's healing effects, there's adding health effects and things like that, summoning wisp effects, but I don't really, that's not going to make it worth it in Arena. Those kind of effects aren't consistent, and they're not powerful enough to pick up a clunky and a weak card. So I think this card is quite bad. It's not unplayable. You can do something with it, but it's not going to be worth the cost. So we're going to have a 4 here for this first card. Just quite unfortunate, but this card is quite inconsistent. The next card we have up is Druid of the Scythe. Transform into a 4/2 with Rush or 2/4 with Taunt. So I like the first part of this card. 4/2 with Rush. That's basically a Shadowbolt, and Shadowbolt is a good removal tool. It's a bit worse than Shadowbolt since the minion it can't get through taunts and other effects like that. But stat wise, dealing 4 damage with 3 costing is pretty solid. So that I like the first card. The second part of the effect, the 2/4 with taunt. 2/4 I think is one of the weaker stat lines for 3 costing minions that are common. Just because it dies to 4/4s and 4/3s, and those are very common in Arena. So I'm not a big fan of the 2/4 stat line, but I am a fan of the 4/2 Rush, and the flexibility is a nice option. It's just giving you more options in Arena is really nice. So I think this card's going to be great to average. I don't want to give like in between ratings, but I don't think this card is great, and I don't think this card is average. So maybe this is a 2.5 quite card. Like, it's a card you will take up. It's pretty solid. It has flexibility, but it's not amazing. It's not amazing. It's almost great. If it was like a 4/3 with Rush or something like that, or a 2/5 with Taunt, if one of those was switched, it would be even better. But I think it's gonna this will be a 2.5 rating here. Quite good, but not great, not amazing, not a so happy to have 10 of these. You know, you're not really thinking about that. Ferocious Howl. Draw a card, gain an armor for each card in your hand. So I'm kind of looking at this as a shield block. The warrior card, draw a card, gain 5 armor. Kind of similar, right? Because I assume this doesn't count for the armor, so you play it and it itself doesn't give you 1 armor. Like if this is the only card in your hand, you get nothing. You just draw a card. So you kind of need like six cards in your hands, which isn't too hard to have at turn 3, to make it a shield block. So I think it's a shield block, and shield block's not unplayable, but it's never been like a amazing card. Sometimes shield block is great because there's other cards that work with armor, but not really in Druid. There are some Druid cards, but it's not super common. So I think this is going to be average. It's not bad. It's just like healing, you know. I think it's going to be an average card. Nothing too sad. You're not sad, but you're not happy about it. Decent card. Next card we have is Force Guide. At the end of the turn, both players draw a card. That's not great, to be honest. Because both players are drawing a card, you're really neutralizing the benefit of having a draw effect, right? You're like, oh, I can draw, you know, but your opponent's also getting the exact same value. That kind of neutralizes the effect, so you kind of just have to look at the stat line and see if the stat line is worth picking this up for 4 mana. A 1/6, no taunt, no lifesteal, no nothing. You know, this is a horrible stat line, to be honest. Like I would say it's a 3-drop stat line, maybe. Might be, you know, it's like a 3-drop stat line without a relevantly powerful effect. That's not good. I would say this is quite bad. Is it unplayable? I don't know if I'm ever gonna give an unplayable rating now that I think about it, but it seems quite bad to unplayable. It might be a 4.5. It's not going. You're not really gonna pick this up. Like I don't really think you're really gonna pick this up, so I'll give it a 4.5. Next we have Witching Hour. Summon a random friendly beast that died this game. So when I look at this, I see Resurrect, right? Summon a random friendly minion that died. It's kind of like that, but a bit more focused, right? But it costs more. But it also hits your enemy's beasts. And there are a ton of 1/1 beasts. 1/1 like chump beasts that get summoned after death rattle effects or things like that. I'm thinking Egg Napper in particular. But it can work, right? The issue is that the longer the game goes, in Arena, the harder it is to control what beasts are in the grave, and that alone makes it very inconsistent. Like if you top deck this card at like turn 12 or something, and you play it, and then you get like a 1/2 or a 1/1, you're just like you're just crying to yourself. So I'm not a big fan of a card like this. Resurrect was a bit better because Priest has like tanky minions. Injured Blade Master was a very powerful combo. But there's not really any like big striking combos popping out at me on turn 3. You know, coin turn 2 something amazing, and play this on turn 3, and it's amazing as well. I'm not really seeing where the value is coming from. So I think this card is going to be a 4. Quite bad, not really applicable, but in the right decks you can definitely find some use into it. Maybe get like a 4/4 for 3. Bewitching Guardian. Battlecry, gain 1 else for each card in your hand. So this is a Twilight Yeti. I mean Twilight Yeti. It's a Twilight Dragon. Twilight Yeti, because usually when you flip on 4, if you flip on curve, it's a Yeti stats. But this is a Twilight it's basically a Twilight Dragon, but for 5 mana, and it has taunt. So you're paying an extra mana for taunt, and an extra mana for taunt isn't great. And also the weakness of Twilight in Arena is that silence destroys it, and just you could. There are a lot of ways to just lose value out of the card. If you top deck it, it's bad. If it gets silenced, it gets bad. If it's just gets devolved, redacted, anything like that. There are ways to get, like, sometimes you'll hold cards in your hand just to get a bigger Twilight, and then they'll have some kind of instant removal, and then all that slow down to get the big payoff is wasted. So I think this is gonna have the same issues as Twilight Dragon. Twilight Dragon is decent because it can activate dragon synergies, but this doesn't have that kind of effect or anything like that. Like, sometimes I pick up the Twilight, but that's because it opens up synergies and, like, priest decks in particular. But there's none of that going on here, so I don't really think this card is going to be great, but it is going to be better than bad. Like, if you get a 5 mana 4/5, that's like okay. Like a 5 mana 4/6, that's decent, So as long as you're not top decking this card, I think this card's gonna be average. So I'll give it a rating of 3 here. Next card we have up is Gloom Stag. This card is all the odd and even cost cards will not be in Arena, so we can just pass the even odd creatures. Since you won't see them, they have a 0 rating because they're NA, not available. Whispering Woods. Summon a 1/1 Wisp for each card in your hand. This makes me think of the Murloc, the 4 mana summon 4 1/1 Murlocs. It might be better than that. It might be a summon 5 Murlocs. Ooh, stand for 4 mana. Crazy. I think this card's gonna be average, honestly. Just looking at it, the weakness of this card is just AOE, right? Like, you play this and they have AOE. Well, that card did nothing. So it's, as long as you are aware that it can be AOE'd and you play it in, like, the right situations, and you have some kind of buff synergy or anything like that. It has some uses, so it's not bad. It's not horrible, but it's not good at all. So it's kind of, it looks more of a lot of these Druid cards seem more constructed based, where they can get some combos in. But right now in Arena, the baseline power of the cards aren't looking too great. So I'll give this a 3 as well. Maybe you can get 5 or 6 wisps out of it if you don't do anything in the early game. That could be relevant. So. Dustfallen Aviana. I know that's not how you pronounce it, but who cares? Let's move on. On each player's turn, the first card played costs 0. Wow, amazing. Doesn't that just sound fantastic? The only issue is that you play this and then your opponent gets the effect, and then they remove the card, and then you just gave them a buff. Wow, that just looks really bad. I don't know what they're thinking with this card when they created it. It looks like it has so many holes in it, so many vulnerabilities. Like, just, you play it and you don't get any effect on it, and then the stat line of the card isn't even, like, amazing or any kind of justification to really, just auto pick it or put it in all your decks. Like, some of the legendaries I've seen so far have been, like, bonkers, and this one is not bonkers at all. I don't think it's unplayable. I will say that, but it's not going to be average. Like, you activate all of their 8 to 10 cost cards, well, 7 too. Like, you activate all of their high power big boys when you play this card, and you're 5 turns in when you play this, so it's likely they're going to have, like, one big minion or one big spell or something like that, and they're going to be able to use it for free. It just looks bad. it just looks really bad right now. We'll have to see how it performs in arena, but right now this is a very disappointing legendary. Will I say it's closer to unplayable than quite bad? I think you can try it. Like, I don't think it's, oh, never pick this card, but you can try it, and then you'll learn if it's bad or not. I'm gonna give you the hint. It might be bad, but you can learn. You can find out for yourself. Okay, Splinter Graft. Choose a friendly minion, add a 10/10 copy to your hand that costs 10. Now, this is a much better legendary. I'll tell you that right now. Because the fact that you can abuse it with Battlecry effects, abuse the card with Battlecry effects, you hit a double gangster, you've won the game, honestly. If you hit a double gangster with this effect, the game is over. If you hit like a chain gang, that'd be pretty sick. You're not dying anytime soon. I mean, basically, there's a way, like, there are insta wins with this card. This card looks not nutters, honestly. There's a lot of good cards. Taunts are good in particular. Anything with Rush would be good in particular. Anything with a unique battle cry, anything that doubles itself. So if you get this card early, you can just draft around it. Like, a lot of the cards that make this card nuts are good by itself. So if you see Chain Gang, you're like, well, I may as well just pick this up over the other card that's like the same power level. Because if I hit it with a Splinter Graft, I've won the game, So this card looks pretty sick, pretty good, much better than the other one. It's gonna be a fun card, and gonna have a lot of sad moments for the opponents and you, as well, as you get hit by triple 10/10 on turn 10. Hey, double gangster's a balanced card, that kind of thing. Give it a 1.5, pretty solid. So I think that is it for the Druid card. So if we take a look at the thing overall, the best card here looks to be the Splinter Graft, and a lot of the other cards that they've been given are not good in arena. Just on a baseline stat level, they are not solid. So I think for Druid, we are going to be giving it a rating of 4. Quite bad. In terms of what they received for the expansions, the cards they got are not solid. Just not really good. Like, barring the legendary pick, like, the best card here, like, you don't even see the Gloom. It might be even this card, right? But you're not gonna see it. This is probably the Druid of the Scythe. Yeah. So I mean, that's like a Shadowbolt or a Squirming Tentacle, which aren't. They're not like, oh my god, OP. It's not. So I think they're really gonna fall in arena due to the expansion that they're getting. 100 cards. Hunting Mastiff, Echo, and Rush 2/1. So on turn 4, you're gonna play deal 4 damage. Turn 6, deal 6 damage. Looks okay. Looks good. Any way to make it broken? There are some cards in here, like the next card up, that could make it a bit better. Like, but pretty good. Like, there are ways to make this better, but I think baseline stats, this is pretty average. Pretty good. Like, the fact that it can't go face, right? If I charge, Echo charge, ha ha ha, this card's not nutters, right? You know what I mean? Like, but Echo Rush, it's not as nutters as it could be. I think this card's gonna be average. Like, you're gonna like it, but you're not gonna be like, oh, I've won the game, that kind of thing. It's 3 for me. Dier Frenzy. Give a beast +3/+3, shuffle 3 copies in your deck with +3/+3. So I really like this card. The fact that you the biggest weakness of this is it has to be a beast, right? Like, it means you have to draft some beast synergy in your arena deck, basically. But besides that, it looks pretty good. If you hit a beast with it, I'm thinking Tuskbore. The 1 mana 1/1 charge. Woo! You know, put in your deck 1 mana 4/4 charge. It's gonna be annoying. You know that you gotta pull out. You could also hit like charge Devilsaur or something insane and just have a fun dandy old time. This card looks really good. Just the fact +3/+3 is very powerful buff. It basically means that it will probably survive the attack, so you get to keep your minion, and then you get disgustingly statted minions as you're playing the game. It looks really good. I think this is gonna be 1.5. Like, great. It's not an insta pick because of the beast synergy, but if you have a deck that works for this, boy, will you be happy to have this in your deck. It looks really good. Next card up, we've got Valbrew Skittler. This looks like an assassinate for taunts for me. just kill those pesky taunts so you can go face more. Good play. Yeah, it looks solid. Like it kills a minion that doesn't have Divine Shield. Seems solid. 5 mana. 5 mana is like high costing for Hunter, but you would pick it up. Like, you're not going to be sad about this. I think this is a great card. Like, like it's like, oh, what effects would it take to have a 5 mana this could use Echo. Wouldn't that be cool if this had Echo? Just cause. But it's a good card. I think it's power level 2. Nothing sad about it. It's just a removal tool for hunters. Dust Haven Hunter. Each time this is in your hand, swap his attack and health. I think this card is pretty awesome as well, right? Because of the stealth, a 3-mana 2/5 is great stat line. Like, it's very tanky. It'll survive most hits, most damages from a 3-drop, and or a 5/2 with stealth hat line. And you want to end the game quickly. You play it as a 5/2. You hit his face a couple times. Ping, ping, ping. Game over. Bada bing, bada boom. It's a decent card. I think there are a lot of ways to make this work out, and I don't think you're going to be sad to have this in your to pick this up in your deck. So I'm thinking it's a great card. It's got a 2 for me. Next up, we have Wing Blast. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If a minion, it costs 1. Basically, like, if a minion dies this turn, that's so common in Arena. Like, like, how do you not have a minion dying in the turn? I don't know. You play a big taunt and you pass, I guess, right? Like, you play a big taunt, and then, yeah, I don't know. This is gonna cost 1, like, every turn, basically. Almost every turn in Arena, it's gonna cost 1. So if you look at it as a 1 mana, deal 4 damage to a minion, not bad at all. Like, a very useful removal tool, I would say. Even if it costed 4, deal 4 damage to a minion, like, that's not bad. That's not, like, unplayable. Like, if it was 4, deal 4 damage, I would say this is, like, average even. And the fact that you can make this cost 1 very reliably, this is not a hard requirement to make it cost 1. I think this card's going to be I want to say it's gonna be amazing. 1 mana, deal 4 sounds amazing to me. I think this card's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna give it amazing. I think I think so. I think this card is going to be really, really solid. Just okay, so they play this is what's gonna happen, right? You're gonna have like a 2/1 or a 1/1 on the board, right? They play like Eddie or something, right? Then you bump in the 2/1, and then you Wing Blast them for you play a 4-drop or something like that, right? And basically, you'll still have like the rest of your minions in there. It's good. It's gonna be a good card, I think. The only thing to think about is that you do have to trade something in, right? So if you have 1 minion versus 1 minion, it's not going to be good. But if you are drafting a little bit more late, like early game curve, then it's going to be really good for you. So I think it's a pretty solid card. Not saying pick it. I don't think you want to, like, you know, since this is the first one, I don't think you want to like spam your deck with, you know, 20 copies of this, because you need minions, right? But having like 2 copies of this in your deck seems very fairly solid. Carrion Drake. If a minion dies this turn, gain poisonous. It's a battle cry so that, you know, if people discover this or, like, you know, reveal this to the board, it's not like, oh, well, I've won the game, I've gotten a 3/7 poisonous, haha, out of nowhere. Yeah, I think this card's gonna be really solid. The stat line is fair, right? Like, if it gets poisonous, right, like, you can kind of think of it like infinite attack. Not really, but like basically, you know, 12 infinite attack but doesn't kill you. Infinite attack for minions, right? And poisonous, the you're basically looking is 7 health for a 5-drop good, right? And I think it is, right? Because one of my favorite 5-drops is Nesting Rock. It's a 4/7, right, with taunt in a lot of situations, and it's very tanky, right? Like, they have to put 2 minions in it. Same thing with this Drake. You have to put 2 minions in it. And it's going to be a good board control tool, right? How annoying is a Basilisk, right? It just has 1/1 stats, but that pesky Divine Shield, like, it stops you from playing so many big minions, right? Because you know it's gonna feel a bit better with this, because at least you're taking out a 3 attack minion, so that's stupid 1/1. It's like, this card is stopping me from playing half of my hand, you know, like, definitely gonna be a solid card. I think it's a 2. Fairly solid minion. 2/2, 2/1/2, 2. It's a 2-drop. Tax Monger. Whenever you play 1-cost minions, give it poisonous. This looks weak, to be honest. The reason why this one looks weak is that you have to draft around it. A lot of the 1-cost good hunter cards, Alley, Cat, Fiery Bat. Fiery Bat would be really nice with this, by the way, because the 1 damage, the Death Rattle would also be playing this. But a lot of those cards, they're all rotating out in Arena, so you're not going to see them. So you kind of have to, like, pick up weaker 1-drops to kind of make this work. And I don't know how many 1-drops you're going to have in your deck to really get the value out of this. And if you just play this as a formula 2/4 with no effect, it's really bad. So I think this card is actually quite bad, just because the amount of synergy you need to make this work doesn't make up for it if you have no synergy. Like, if you have no synergy, this card is really not what you're looking for in the stat line. But if you do have some synergy, you can definitely make it work, so it's not unplayable. Rat Trap. After your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, summon the 6/6 rat. I keep hearing people say this card is going to be really bad, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be really bad. The reason being is that, first of all, it's a secret, and you'll be surprised how often you play 3 cards in a turn, especially if you're not going, if you have the coin, if you still have the coin, right? Like, if you know what I'm saying, like, if you still have the coin. I could see this coming out turn 4, turn 3, and you're just like, oh, there was that secret. Whoops, you know, I shouldn't have coined and played a 1-drop. It was, you know, like, but reliably, you'll probably see this in the late game, right? Like, probably turn 7, probably turn 8, it might trigger. And a 6/6 is nice, like, but I think it's going to be average for me. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be, it's probably going to hit, like, in the game, just not when you want it to hit, but it could. That's the thing, right? It's a card that could win you games by itself. So people might be sleeping on this card, you know, because if the opponent messes up, plays, you know, it hits a jailer, plays all 3 jailers turn 3, and you laugh you laugh so hard, and I know, like, it could happen, and then they're like, well, GG, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think it's gonna be playable, but not like amazing. But it could win you games by itself. Houndmaster Shaw. Your other minions have rush. I'll tell you right now, this is a 1. 40 mana 3/6 stat line is disgusting. Is good. Is one of the best stat lines you can have. It's a Cobalt Monk. And Cobalt Monk, it's so tanky, right? It's not like on turn 4, it usually doesn't die the turn you play it, like a Cobalt Monk. So you play as this Cobalt Monk, essentially, right? They can't kill it immediately unless they're a mage. You know. And then you hit them with the business. You hit them with the rush. You're coming in with a 5-drop with rush and just trading favorably with your minion, and then keeping your Houndmaster safe. If they can't remove this easily, it's probably not dying, right? Because you're going to protect it with your other minions. Your other minions become spells, basically, and you can just keep this alive and trade favorably, hit him in the dome for 3 every turn. It looks good. It looks really good. And we'll have to see how it performs, but I think this is the card you really want to pick up if you can in Hunter. Easy to draft around too, right? Like you don't really have to put any effort into around this card. You're like, oh, I'll pick high attack minions. I'll pick decent statted minions. I'll pick minions, you know. Maybe that I'll pick a Yeti now instead of this battle cry effect. You know, I could see it. Immerus. I should have deleted this. Double the attack and health of all minions in your hand. In Arena, it could work, but it's super slow. You want to discover this card. Yeah, you don't want to draw. You don't really want this card in your deck, but you want to discover this card. You want to be like, oh, Everest, I'll play it soon. All my minions. It's not a hunter card. I think this card wants to be in another class. I think priest law. No, don't give it to priest. They already have things. But yeah. Hunter, a lot of hunter strategies is to dump your hand, right? Like, at what point are you on turn 10 and you still have cards in your hand? You're still like, you have a reasonable amount of cards in your hand. Where you're like, oh, I'm gonna buff more than like 2 cards or something. Unlikely, but it's not bad. I think this card's gonna be average. It's gonna be 3. Just for a fact that it's unlikely that you're going to have a big combo on it. I mean, obviously someone's gonna pull it off, someone's gonna do it, but the likelihood you're playing a hunter and on turn 10 you play an 8/8 and the opponent has no way to deal with it and can't like put you in such an unfavorable position that the cards you're gonna play don't matter is fairly unlikely. So I think this card is not going to be super great. It's just going to be a okay minion that you sometimes pick up because it's the best minion offered. But you're not like, oh, this is gonna win me 10 games. Nope, not gonna happen, I think. Alright, so those are all of the hunter cards. And taking a look at them again, there are some good minions in here. There are some good cards in here. Solid cards. I think this is a 2.5 in terms of what they got here. What brings it down is some of the inconsistent cards. Rat Trap is kind of inconsistent. This is the card that brings it down a lot. Like, not really doing a lot for you. But this is great. This is great. This is great. This is pretty good. This is great. You know, this is, I think, above average. Average, basically. So it's close to great. What's really bringing it down is like Monger, Rat Trap, and Emissars. Just those. I mean, Emissars, all the legendaries you can kind of ignore because you're not really going to see them too much. But I think I would put in more like 2.2 over 2.5, but it's closer to, it's more fair to be a 2.5 than a 2. So that's Hunter right there. Mage. You know, why is this a class? You know what? Portal is leaving. Firelands Portal is leaving. Finally, that card has been really annoying to deal with. Blink Cat, Black Cat. It's not Blink Cat. It's a Black Cat. I think Blink Cat is the rogue card. Black Cat, spell damage. Oh, well, you're not seeing this, so it doesn't matter. Nope. Moving on. Vex Crow. Whenever you cast a spell, summon a random 2-cost minion. I think this card's going to be average, maybe above average. Yeah, it might be above average. At first I was thinking this card is not going to be great, but then I thought about it a little bit more. It's like a Violet Teacher without 2 health, right? And Violet Teacher is pretty nasty. You know, like if your deck is right for it, it's pretty nasty. And even if without 2 health, it makes it that it gets removed easier. But other than that, like 2-cost minions are very like swingy. I would say you could get a really nasty bug boy, or you could get a lot of taunts, making it harder to deal with the minion. Where the 1/1 is always a 1/1, not really hard to deal with. But yeah, there was a way to make it work. However, it's only going to be in Mage, where Violet Teacher is in every class, where there are more synergies depending on the class. But Mage has a lot of cheap spells you can use. However, cheap spells in Mage aren't super powerful, right? You got Shatter, you got Arcane Missile, you got Mirror Image. Those kind of things, they are good, but they're not like, you know, I've won the game spells where but I think this card's going to be above average, probably 2.5 if you can make the deck around it. If you can't make the deck around it, it's 25. It's not going to be great, but if you can make the deck around it, it's going to be quite solid. So we'll do that. Snap Freeze. Definitely need to remove this. Freeze a minion if it's already frozen. Destroy it. So it is Shatter, but better. Feels bad, but Shatter was bad, so it doesn't matter that it's better of a. It's a better than a bad card. But that does make it better. Like, to be honest, like the fact that you can like Shatter sometimes is unplayable. This card's never unplayable, right? You have to draft around it, but I think it's gonna be quite bad. Like you have to draft around it, and I'm gonna bump it up to 3.5. I think the fact that there are a decent amount of freeze effects in Mage makes this a bit better, right? Like Frost Nova is good, Cone of Codes is whatever. There's Frost Elemental and Glacial Shard as well. I don't think it's not good enough to be average though, but it's not unplayable. Yeah, it's not an average card. You're not like, oh yeah, I'll take one. It's about average, you take a snap. No, it's not. But if you have any freeze effects in your deck, could definitely work here. So I'm not gonna hate on the card too much. Bonfire Elemental. You see a lot of elemental mage in Arena, actually, at high wins at least these days, because of the spell that gets you 3 mage cards. So I think this card's gonna be amazing. Amazing. Okay, wait. Okay, well, let me let me stop there. Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah, I think this card's going to be pretty freaking nasty. You play Water Elemental turn 4, you play this turn 5. Yeah, and the stat line is great. Like, it's not fantastic, but it's definitely playable. Yeah, I think this is the next one. Just cause there's so many elementals in Mage, right? Water Elemental, the 4/5 with the Battlecry, Leyline. Firefly, You know, igneous even. It's just like a real. It's really easy to trigger draw a card. So like 5 mana 5/5 draw a card is like oh oh oh. I'll draft a lot of those. It's better than Azure Drake. I would say in a lot of matchups and in a lot of decks. So it's gonna be a great card. I think you'll see it a lot. And pick it up if you can. Like Elemental Mage was already good, and this is gonna make it better. But Portal's gone. Hey. Oh man! Whenever you draw a card, gain +1/+1. So this card works with a lot with the other. There's another card in here. I think it's this one. Yeah. Draw 3 cards, discarding spell given. This card is gonna be a 7 mana 7/7. Draw up to 3 cards. You know, like that's a good stat line. You know, I think this card, if it has synergy, will be pretty good. The issue with this card is that people might like play this card, play Arcane Intellect when they don't need to, right? I think this card's going to be 2.5. It's going to be good, but I feel people are going to misplay with this card. That's the issue I have with it. Like people are going to play Arcane Intellect too early, going to play Book of Secrets too early when they have better plays, just because they can do this. Oh, I can get a 6/6 for 5. But you're spending 8 mana for a 6/6. It's not as good as you think. So I think if people play this correctly, it's gonna be good. But I think people are gonna misplay with this card, and it makes this card a little bit worse. That's my thoughts on it. Cinder Storm. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all enemies. So does that include face? I assume it does. But the card seems weak. I think it includes face, right? So, because it'd say all enemy minions, right? Deal 5 damage against all enemies. And then I think the card would be amazing, right? Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it'd be disgusting. Just play it when. Yeah, it'd be so good. Never mind. Yeah, it has to be including face. I don't like the card then because it's inconsistent, and inconsistencies without a benefit are pretty bad in my opinion. It's gonna be like a 3 mana deal 3. Yeah, I don't think this card's gonna be good. I think this card's going to be bad. I think this card. It might not even kill a 4/4. Right? The opponent has a 4/4. Right? The math doesn't. And now if it includes face. Right? You have to have a full board, and then you play this first. Then it hits a lot of minions. And then you trade. Then you just flame strike him. Yeah, this I don't like this card. I think it's gonna be bad. It's not unplayable, but it's not. It doesn't look consistent enough to be good or average. Book of Secrets, draw 3 cards, discard any spell drawn. This looks nasty. This looks nasty, especially in Arena where there's a lot more minions in your pool, right? And you gotta look at it like a kind of look at like a Banshee, right? Like so Banshee, right? People play it, right? And if you discard like your Fireball or something, you're like no, but just imagine like it was at the bottom of your deck, right? You're never gonna see it. So it's better than that because you're only discarding like 1 spell, maybe 2 spells on average. No, I mean if you're drafting this card, you're gonna pick minions, so probably 0 to 1 spell on average, and it's 2 mana. Refill your hand. Disgusting, like just a nasty card. I think this card is amazing, pretty damn good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Damn, feels bad. I don't like reading these mage cards with 1s. Like why is that there? Battle Cry, Discovery Secret, put in your battlefield. 4 mana 2/2, gain a secret. Discover a secret. So does that include wild secrets? Because That'd be nasty. I don't want to deal with frozen with wild secrets. If it includes wild secrets, that'd be way more annoying because then you can't predict it. Because Mage's secrets like cover every possibility. Oh, should I play this spell? Well, that Mage secret wrecks it. Should I play this spell? Well, that Mage secret could wreck it. It doesn't like minion. Oh, that Mage like it covers every single frame of reference. Yeah. Should I go face? Well, that Mage secret wrecks it. Like it's, I don't know. It's very annoying, the Mage secrets, and I think this card's gonna be good. Gonna be great, actually. Like even if it's not wild secrets, it looks like it has a lot of decent potential. But I don't know what turn do you play this? Turn 6? And turn 6 maybe? Right? Like so if you so imagine you're playing so you're playing a secret and then you're spending 1 mana for a 2/2, right? That's like not bad at all. So I think it's gonna be a great card, yeah. Unfortunate for us non-mage players, but whatever. Toki Time Tinker. Add a random legendary minion from the past. Add a wild legendary to your hand. Fun, but inconsistent. But the stat line's good enough to make fun great. Hey, I think this card's gonna be playable. You'd play it. Yeah, you'd play it. I'll take it. I'll give it 2. It's hard to like really evaluate it because there's so many wild legendaries, right? It's hard to really evaluate. Like sometimes it's gonna be game winning, sometimes it's gonna be like completely useless. So like you kind of just have to look at the stat line. And 6 mana for a 5/5 draw, gain a minion. Seems okay. Yeah, seems okay. Some cards, cards we're spending like 50 minutes on. Some cards we're spending like 2 seconds on. Archmage Aragold. Whenever you draw a minion, add a copy of it to your hand. So you play this in the late game and hope that it doesn't die. It's a 2-mana 2/2, which isn't great, right? The fact that it has 2 health means that it dies to a lot of removal. I think this might be a 2.5 here. Just because the fact that it's has 2 health, it makes me think it's gonna die a lot. And in arena, like if you're playing a taunt, you play a taunt and it just dies. I mean, you have to play behind a taunt, I think, which would make it better. But that's not consistent in arena, so I think it's gonna be good, right? But I don't think it's going to be amazing. I give it a 2.5. And I think those are all of the mage cards. Yep, those are all the mage cards. So mage cards got a lot of good stuff. Got a lot of good minions. Good minions, yeah. 1 second. So, looking over it, this is really what's bringing it down, in my opinion. The freeze, and the freeze, yeah. It's got like it's got amazing cards, like really good, and then like some bad cards or like inconsistent cards. I wouldn't say they're bad. I would say they got a fairly disgusting expansion, yeah. Honestly, I would give it a 2, a little bit better. Like Book of Spectrals is disgusting. So is the Bonfire Elemental. And if you just avoid the bad cards and pick up the disgusting cards, you're gonna do well, yeah. So Rebuke. Enemy spells cost 5 more this turn. Lol, it's a low tab without a body, without a 5/5 for 3 mana, So the only reason I see this is like you fill your hand and you're against Mage, you fill your hand and then you play it and then they can't flame strike you and that's it. And then they flame strike you the next turn. I don't know. This card looks unplayable. This might be the unplayable card, yeah. I don't think you pick it up. It's sad. Yeah. It in constructed I could see it. You know, they're like, oh, low depth's too good, so we'll nerf the effect. Yeah, the problem with spells are like if this had enemy minions, oh, that would be a different card. Oh my god, actually that would be too strong. It would be it'd be a different card. But spells are so inconsistent. It's going to be useless in a lot of matchups. So, I think this is a 5, unplayable. Sad to see Paladin. Well, actually, I'm not sad to see Paladins getting unplayable cards. You know, you've been high rated for a long time. You can have one of these. Down the bells. Echo, give a minion +1/+2. So let's imagine 10 mana, give a minion +5/+10. That's not gonna die. 8 mana. I'm glad it's +1/+2 and not +2/+1 because that'd be a bit worse. Well, unless you're going aggro and then Dinosize something, I could see that. This card looks fairly solid, honestly. If you have a board, right, you buff so that your minions survive, and then you have like a 6/1, a 5/2, you know, a 7/7, a 7/1 or something like on the board, right? Where you're trading into nasty things, yeah. It looked pretty solid as a late game like finisher. In terms of like they do this and then you can't recover. It looks good, yeah. I'd say it's 1.5, maybe 2. I'd say it's a 2. It's a great card, but there are weaknesses. You need a board, and people have kind of learned that you just don't give Paladin boards. Don't give them a board. Don't do that to yourself, right? You want to be Steve. That's how you get Steve. You want to be Divine Shielded into traded favorably. That's how you get Divine Shielded. Just don't give them a board. So I think the fact that people know how to deal with Paladin cards make this a little bit worse. But if you do get to do this and they like you set up and then they set up, then you wreck them. And you just wreck them. Yeah, it looks nice. Ghostly Charger, Divine Shield Rush. Looks good. It's a Psychotron, right? But you get to attack with it with the Divine Shield, right? You don't get cheesed, right? They don't get to bump your 1/1 into your Psychotron. It looks really good, actually. I like the card. I think it's great. I think it's fairly good. Solid card. The fact that you can trade first, right? Kill a 6/3 or something, right? That's pretty solid. I like the card. Silver Sword, probably need to remove this. After your hero attacks, give your minions +1/+1. Now when this card came out, I was listening to people. People seem to think this card sucks, and I don't think so. I think this card is borderline OP, actually. I don't think it's amazing, but I think this card is borderline really good. Because, okay, so if you have a board and you play this, right, it's pretty nasty. You get to buff your board. Like someone could play Stand, right? And then you get 5/1/1s, right? And then Stand hero power, right? They kill like 3 of them or something, right? Then you Silver Sword, right? You get the 3 damage, and then you get like you get 3 2/2s, right? And then you get to trade favorably, right? It's pretty nasty. And the thing is that you keep getting the buff. So the first turn is the hardest turn to make this work, right? The first turn's the most awkward turn to make this work, but afterwards you get to just play your minions and then buff them all, and then play your minions again and then buff them all, and then play your minions again and then buff them all. It's like, you know, that sounds so nasty in Arena. As long as you're not dead, that's going to be really sick. And I think this card is going to be. I'm not confident enough to say this card's amazing, but I think I'm confident enough to say this card is great. I feel that people are sleeping on this card, and once people play with it, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, this card is good. All right, okay. Yeah, you do have to draft around it though, right? You have to draft around it, right? Like things like Chain Gang, right? Things like Chain Gang, things like Double Gangster, solid cards here. So as long as you know you have this, or you could draft this in your deck, and you draft around it, it's gonna be a solid card. So I like it. Bell Ringer Sentry. Put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. Cool. Issue with this is that secrets are bad. Well, a lot of the secrets for Paladin. I'm trying to figure out the name of the class. For Paladin are bad, but I can see this working. The issue is like how many secrets are you gonna have in your deck, right? Like you're gonna have like 2 secrets or something, right? So like you play this and then you get Kodo, right? Like Kodo goes into it, they kill it, right? And then you get this, and then all your secrets are done, and then you're like, okay, cool, you know. But I think this guy's gonna be average. Like the stat line isn't like good, but it's not like unplayable. It's not 2-4 at least, you know. Like 3-4, it's bad, but it's not unplayable. You at least get a secret, and you get to get the secret out of your deck, so you're not top decking it, right? So if you're reluctantly drafting a secret, then at least this pulls it out of your deck, so you don't have to play with it. So I think this card's going to be average, just average card. Like if you've got synergy, then it's going to be better than average. If you don't have synergy, then it's worse than average. So round it up to average. Seems fair. Paragon of Light. 3 mana, 2/5. If it has 3 or more attack, it has Taunt and Lifesteal. Ooh, Taunt and Lifesteal. Ooh, that's good. So if you can buff it up, and there are a lot of ways to buff it up, especially with the new cards, Sound of Bell, Silver Sword. I think those are the only 2, right? Yeah. Those 2 cards. You can easily make it a 3 attack minion, and then Lifesteal Taunt. Pretty good. Is there a Lifesteal Taunt minion with decent stats? I don't think so, right? Like they all have like 1 attack. So, and a 3 mana 2/5, like the baseline with no buffs is good. So I think this card's going to be great, like close to amazing even. But baseline 3 mana 2/5, which is going to be common, is good. So I think this card's a great card, like solid card. The upside is really good. Is what makes it a lot better. But in general, it's just gonna be solid, good minion. Pick it up. If you get the buffs off, it's even better. Cathedral Gargoyle. If you're holding a dragon, become annoying as hell, right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're holding a dragon, it's gonna be good. If you're not holding a dragon, it's going to be not amazing at all. But if you are holding a dragon, ha ha ha, that's annoying. Yeah. Problem with it is that if you're not holding a dragon, which is going to be fairly common, it's going to suck, right? It's not going to be great. I mean, you'll play it sometimes, but you're not going to be like, oh, this is amazing, you know. So I think this card's going to be solid, but not good. Like maybe average. maybe a little worse than average. Because dragon synergy is hard to get, I think, unless you're drafting specifically for it, and I don't think the upside of this is like, oh my god. So I think it's gonna be like a 3.5. Basically because a lot you're rarely gonna have dragon synergy, but if you are drafting paladin just to get this one dragon synergy card and the other one, the 3-mana 2/3 dragon synergy card, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if that's the right strategy to win arena. So looks annoying if it triggers, but it probably won't trigger in a lot of situations. Hidden Wisdom: after your opponent plays 3 cards in a turn, draw 2 cards. I like this because you play it and then people are going to do it and then you're going to get 2 cards. So it's like a 1-mana draw 2 cards eventually. And you can play on turn 1, draw 2 cards eventually. Like, it's not bad. Like, it's a refill. And this card's going to be pretty good. Probably one of the better secrets, I think. Like, playing 3 cards is not as hard as you guys think. I think people seem to think no one ever plays 3 cards in a turn. Oh my god, they played 3 cards in a turn? Wow, I can't believe it. Like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and then you're gonna get 2 cards. So I could see this. You could put this in your deck. It doesn't seem horrible. It's not gonna do anything though the turn you draw it. That's really what's disappointing about it. But it's 1 mana. Like, you just play it whenever. Right, and then they start playing around other secrets, right? That's what's nice, right? Like, secrets, people start playing around the other secrets, just like, oh well, I guess I won't kill the second minion. It could be Hand of Salvation, or whatever. I don't know. It looks good to me. I'll give it a 2. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. I'm not gonna change this. It's not. Yeah. Last night, Divine Shield. Whenever you restore health, gain Divine Shield. I don't think is there even any restore health synergies in here at all. No, there's not. There's no extra restore health thing. Oh, I guess the Paragon of Light. Hey, no, that's not good enough. No. There's not any extra restoring health synergies coming in. So just a 4-mana 4/3 with Divine Shield, which is good. Not a bad card. Has a slight upside of getting more Divine Shield. I think this card is good. Better than average, so it's good. Better than average. Yeah. Is it great though? Maybe. It could be great, right? Like, if you get Divine Shield once, it's amazing. It goes up to amazing, right? Like, get 2 Divine Shields. When this card loses Divine Shield, gain Divine Shield. Like, or like the first time this minion loses Divine Shield on the battlefield, gain Divine Shield. Disgusting, right? Like, if it would become like 0.5, like better than amazing. I don't know, but right now I think it's great. It's not horrible, but it's a solid minion. It's like it's almost average though. The stats are a lot. The stat line is average. But the upside is great. Like, if you could get it once. So I don't know. Like, it's a good minion, and it could become amazing. But on its own, it's like average, better than average, but barely better. It's like 2.5 stat line without the extra gain Divine Shield stat line. And I think the extra gain Divine Shield stat line bumps it up to 2, so I'll give it a 2. A fair 2. Nothing crazy. Prince Lamb. Transform all 1-cost cards into your deck into legendary minions. I like this. It's a 5/5 for 5, which is fair. And then it makes all of your bad top decks decent to okay top decks. So it fixes the late game, right? Like, you're not going to draw 1-cost minions if you have this. Unless this is in the bottom of your deck, then you're a bit like, where's my lamb? Mary didn't get her lamb. So I think it's okay. I think it's good. It seems average. The stat line does, but the benefit is nice. So I'll give it 2.5. Seems okay. And I think that is all of the Paladin cards. Yep. So looking at it over again, like a lot of the things are too. Oh, Suffer Brook. Oh, right, the unplayable thing. So this is like a. What did I give this? Like a 2. Like a 2. 2. It's like worse than 2. Like a 2. This is like worse than 2. Like I gave this 2, right? Yeah, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Lots of 2s, but then they were worse than 2, so I'll give it a 2.5. But is it 2.5 worthy? I think so. There are a lot of decent cards in there. Yeah. It's closer to 3 than it is closer to 2. Yeah. But it's still 2. Priest cards. Priest is one of my favorite classes, so I'm hoping that it's gotten some good stuff. Oh man, I saw this card. Oh yeah, Squashling. I saw this card and I was just like, this card is so nutters. It's so nutters. This is like almost 0.5, I would say. This might be the best card I've seen so far. Like, it looks so innocent. It's so disgusting. Holy moly. Echo. Oh my god, it's so disgusting. Like, I don't know how to like to make you understand how nasty this thing looks. Okay, so you trade with something, then you heal it, right? Or you heal it up to full. You get two 3/1s. You get 3/2/1s. Like if you have 6 mana, right? You have like a 5/5 or a 5/6 on the board. You trade into like a 4/5, and then you heal. Now you have a 5/6 again and 3/2/1s. Oh, okay. How am I dealing with this? Right, you're about to die. The mage is about to pyroblast you. You're like, nah, I'll just heal for 10. Get direct, son. That kind of thing. It's so nutters. And then there's a lot of heal effects. Like you have Arcanine, and you're just like, well, I'll just deal 6 damage to all of your minions. Oh, you have Arcanine. Well, I'll kill you next turn. It's like it's so nasty. It's so good. This is like. I want to like say like 0.5. Like this is like asterisk, like disgustingly good. I don't know. It's so good. This is the nutter card I've seen so far. Nice card. Glad to see this in Priest. I'm a Priest player, so I'm a bit happy. Can't attack while undamaged. While damaged, right? So. People are gonna think, oh, I'll just ping it with the mage, right? That's not how you work. That's not how you deal with it. You have to deal 3 damage to this, because if you don't deal 3 damage to it, the priest will just heal it and then attack with it, right? And then you'll just have like a 5/3 like laundering around on the board until the opponent wants to kill it, right? And then there are heals in Priest, right? Like you could heal it with the Squashing, right? Back up, dunk him again, like, hey, I ain't worried. Another thing with this thing can just go face, right? Like you play it, just go face, and they're like, oh, that's a problem. Just go face. Like, no, don't do this. It's just like, oh no, this card is nasty too. Oh my god, this card's great. I think you're not going to, it's not going to get one shot it, right? So they're gonna have to invest 2 cards to deal with this card. This is a nasty card, like, and it also has elemental tag, which is like just a benefit. Thanks for the water. I appreciate it. I needed water. I've been talking for like an hour and a half nonstop. Thanks for the water. And it's just gonna be pretty good. Water break. I need the water. The bot was dying. The bot is like, drink water, drink water. No. Oh man. But I think this card's gonna be quite good. Quite solid. So I am pleased to see this here. Pleased to see this here. Solid card here. Next card we have Divine Him, right? Restore 6 to all friendly characters. So usually this is like a holy light, right? Like just base, like usually healing effects like is horrible. Oh, a holy light. That's pretty bad. Like, you know, who picks holy light in arena? But it's everything. It's not just your it's not just your face. It's not just like you play Arcanine, you play this, you clear your whole board. Crazy, not like that, but like it heals you. Plus, it has board presence, right? The issue with Holy Light is it's hard to make it good, right? It's hard, like you have to trade with like a Bog Creeper and then heal the Bog Creeper. That's pretty good, you know. But besides that fact, besides like those fringe cases, it's very hard to get Holy Light to work. This, it hits everything, right? So if you have like a relatively decent sized board, and then you just like trade, and then heal all of your minions plus back to full, plus you heal yourself, that's like nutters if you can pull it off. But on average, like you'll probably heal a decent sized minion, plus you'll heal your face for 6, which is pretty good. I think this is above average. Not a bad card at all. I won't say it's great because you have to make it work, but it's not like a card you can play every time and it's gonna be good. But you have to make it work, but if you can make it work, it's gonna be solid. Okay. Next card, Coffin Crasher. Death Rattle. Summon a Death Rattle minion from your hand. So right now, like you Coffin Crasher, kill it, gets another Coffin Crasher or a Bone Drake. This card is this card is also nutters. This card's nutters. Because you can also draft around it, and like statue, you get a statue from your hand. You know, you're just like, well, the stat line is good. Like is solid. Like it's not like you're getting a horribly statted minion with this. Coffin Crasher is like 6 mana, 6/5 is like playable. So there is a lot of. You can do some work with this. You can definitely do some work with this. I think this card is actually amazing, and you should probably pick it up, and you should probably draft knowing that you can pick this up because it's nutters. I'll give it a 1. I'll give it a 1. Just the nutters. There's two nutters. Okay. Next card, Holy Water. Deal 4 damage to a minion. If that kills it, add a copy to your hand. I am a Greed Lord, so I am liking the sound of adding copies to your hand. And there's ways to make this card like insane. Like it allows you to steal class cards, which is nuts. Like you steal a legendary class card and then you make it work for you with priest. This is gonna be really good in my opinion. If you are value oriented, right? If you're not, if you are losing the tempo game, then this is a bit sadder, right? It's a really weak Shadowbolt, like a really high cost. You're paying 2 mana to get a card, right? But I think this card's going to be pretty good. I think it's going to be better than an average card. I think, yeah. So I'm going to give it a 2.5. It's a tempo loss is the biggest weakness, but if you are playing the value-oriented game like I do, I take tempo losses all the time. However, we are losing Dragonfire Potion. But if you can, you know, just survive and make things work, top decking this in the late game is fantastic. Really big fan of the cards like this for me. Works with my style. Night Skill Matriarch. Whenever a friendly minion is healed, summon a 3/2 whelp. And it's a dragon. We are losing Operative. So I don't know if we're losing Dustbreaker too. We might be. But I know for a fact we're losing Operative, which is like I would say the best dragon in But I think this card is pretty good. Like nine nine health, like it is not innocent. Like 9 health is tough to deal with. Like 9 health is like, damn, my 8 doesn't kill this. That's what 9 health says. For 7 mana, and it allows you to heal the turn you play it, right? If on 9, right? So you'll play this, heal something, get a 9, get a 9, get a 4/4/9 plus a 3/3 on the board. That's not bad, you know. Plus you get to heal a minion. I think this card's gonna be really good. Like this card's gonna be great. Like, and it could be amazing. But I don't think it's gonna be amazing because um it's just you have to plan it out, right? You have to plan the card out. If the opponents clear your board every turn, then you're not really gonna be able to. You're still gonna play this on 7 or 9, but you're not going to be able to get the effect off. And the 7 mana 4/9 is good stats, like, but it's not like it's gonna die to 2/5/5s basically. Like that's what's gonna kill it. 2/5/5s on the board, and then they play Spellstone. They play Warrior Spellstone. You play Matriarch. They kill it for free, and you cry. Yeah, but other than that, I think it's gonna be a solid card. I think it's gonna be great. So I got a 2 for this. Glitter Moth, not gonna be seen in the arena, so we can skip. Vivid Nightmare. Choose a friendly minion, summon a copy of it in your hand. When I saw this initially, I thought it'd be really bad. But with the heal spell and the fact that it combos with some other cards in like, can you imagine you play Matriarch, then you play Nightmare, then you play Circle of Healing. You know, just disgusting. But I think this card's going to be average, maybe. Yeah, probably average. I think you can. It works with Death Rattle, right? Like you play this, you can combo the Coffin Crasher, right? And you don't care if they ping the Coffin Crasher, because then you get a free Death Rattle in your hand. Like it's gonna be okay. Like, so I would say this card is average. Not too bad. Lady in White, casting your fire on every minion in your deck. I'm actually not a fan of this card in the arena. I think it's too hard to, like, you're not gonna pick high attack minions now, like, because of this. Like, oh, I won't pick high attack minions anymore because I could get a Lady of White, and then I will be rewarded crazily if I draw it early enough that it matters. Yes, that's my strategy in arena. No, it's not gonna work. In a lot of situations, if you get this, first pick in draft, go for it, man. Go for it. But if you're just drafting normally and then you see it's like pick 20 or something, your deck's already going to be decided by that point, so it's not really going to do anything. However, the stats are like okay. I think this card's going to be average. It's not going to be great, and it's not going to be bad. It's going to be an average card. It's it might be below average. It might be 3.5 actually. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna dump it. I'm gonna lower it to 3.5 because the stats are bad. And a lot of times the inner fire on every minion in the arena is not gonna be relevant. And it might be a detriment. This could possibly hurt your deck. So I don't think it's gonna be great. And constructed, that's a different story. But that's not what we're doing here. And Charmeleon. Every turn this is in your hand, transform it into a card your opponent is holding. So I've heard some people talk about this and say it is not that great in arena, and I beg to differ. I think this card is sick in arena because they're saying, oh, you only get to see one card every turn, only one card. One card every turn is a lot. Is a lot of information that you're getting, like mind vision, right? You can win games off of knowing that your opponent has a Deathwing. Oh, they've got a Deathwing? Well, I guess I'm gonna bait out the Deathwing. Like, there are ways to like, and then you get to keep knowing more information, until they play it. Like, they get a card every turn, but they're gonna play a card every turn, right? So you're going to get different information. I think it can hit the same card, but that's fine, right? Like, you're just, the longer you hold this, the more information of their hand that you get, and you can definitely start playing around these things. If you know they have a Twilight Drake, if you know they have a Earth Shock, if you know they have a Fireball, if they know they have a Pyroblast, you can play different, start reacting to everything that they're doing preemptively, and it's just a really sick card. I think this card is actually also, you get a Steed, I'll play Steed. Okay, I'm happy about that. Like, it's like the card is solid. I think the card is really good. It's a 1/1/1 with the value of 1. That sounds about right. Oh, that's everything. Whew. Whew. Did I even knock off, like, does nothing under 4 here, right? Like, this is disgusting. This is pretty disgusting. This is pretty good. This is disgusting. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is not, you're not seeing it. This is average. This is average, but it's a legendary, so that doesn't really matter. And this is disgusting. Yeah, this I think I haven't like valued the rest of the class, but I think Priest got the best expansion here. I think they did, yeah. I know it's a 1, but I think it's a 1.5, right? It's hard to give something a 1. Like, that means like every single card in Arena is amazingly crazy, but most of the cards in here are disgustingly powered. So yeah, Priest is looking happy. I'm looking happy. I'm gonna be trying out Priest when the arena changes hit. Oh, and I will be enjoying myself. It seems. All right, so we've got rogue cards. Let's see what we got here. Cheap shot. Deal 2 damage to a minion. With echo. Seems like a decent removal tool, right? Could also be board clear, right? Hit different minions. Looks okay, right? 2 mana, deal 2. I don't know if people will be using this on 2. People are so greedy. You know what I mean? Like, but I think you should probably, if you have nothing else to do and they play like a 3/2, you should probably just cheap shot. I like the card. I think the card is pretty good, yeah. I think it's great. It's not amazing, but a lot of the echo cards won't be amazing because you could do better with the mana, but the flexibility makes it great. The flexibility makes it really nice. I like the card. Blink Fox. Ah, that's the card I was talking about with the Mage. That's the card I was confusing with the Mage card. Battle Cry, add a random card to your hand. So this is a Swashbuckler. But earlier on and has a decent effect. It looks good. It looks nice. I love cards like this. I may overrate this. I think this is a 1. I love cards like this though. Like, it's decent stats, plus you get a free card with no drawback. Yeah. Also a beast. Could be relevant. 1 for me. Good card. This is I'm gonna be testing Rogue because of cards like Blink Fox and what else we're gonna be seeing here. Combo, give your weapon +1 attack. I am not impressed by 3 mana 2 force, and comboing this means you can't play it on 3, but you will still play this on 3 if you have a 3 drop. I think this card is bad, honestly. I don't like the 2/4 stat line. I think the 2/4 stat line for 3 is really weak, and you have to combo this. That means you have to coin this, right? But how are you coining this? What are you playing on 1 to coin this, right? You play 1, no weapon. You coin this on 3, no weapon. It's not. It looks very weak, honestly. I don't like this card. I think this card's bad. This card is not good. Like, you can play it later on, but a 2/4 later on is not good. And it's a pirate. That's bad. I don't like this card. I don't think it's good at all. Not a fan of it. Curse Castaway. Rush, 5/3 rush. like usually the rush cards have really bad health, but 5/3 means you could kill a 2/4. There's a 2/4 again, and still have it, and then that's how to draw a combo card from your deck. So you don't want to draft this because you don't want to draw this. This you do draft. This you do draft because it's like a Starfire. Like deal 5 damage, draw a card. Like a Starfire. When Starfire is a great card, and you know doesn't matter if it's a pirate if it dies immediately. But honestly, yeah. I think it's gonna be a great card. Like a lot of the combo cards are really good. Minstrel is really good. Eviscerate's really good. Cold Blood's really good. Other things that have combo in their name could be good. I don't know. So I think this is gonna be a pretty powerful card. Pretty great. It might be amazing. It really might be amazing. Just because the cards you draw, the combo cards, like if you draft correctly, are going to be sick. I think this is a 1.5. I think this is one of the better cards that they received, and has could do a lot of work. So nice to see them getting some love. Miss Wrath. Whenever you play an Echo card, gain +1/+1. I think you've got to combo this with Echo cards. So you got to like play this on turn 10 and cheap shot 3 times or something like that, and then it's a 6/8. Plus you get the cheap shot effect. That looks okay. That looks pretty good. What's the other combo cards? Just this also costs 2. This costs 3. Yeah, so 2 and 3, and then there's like neutral minions. So it's probably gonna be like a 5/7 or a 6/8. For 10, right? I think this card has potential. It's better than average, that's for sure, right? Because the stat line without any effect is average, so it's better than average just by the stats. And then if you have an Echo deck, it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be hard to play though, like hard to get the buff off. You might get 1 buff off in iterations. It's gonna be a 4-mana 4/6 plus you get the Echo effect, right? I think this card makes is a 2.5. I think whatever you're gaining from the +1/+1 you're losing by playing the Echo. The Echo effect, you could play probably a better card for the similar effect. Like instead of cheap shotting, you could eviscerate. That's way better. But what are you gonna do about it? I think it's a solid minion. Like you'll pick it up and then you'll draft Echo cards afterward. Pickpocket. Refill your hand. Right? That's what it says, in my opinion. It's like a flexible what's it called? The 7-mana draw 4. I forgot what it's called. But that card, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a flexible one of those. However, it's inconsistent though. It's flexible, but it's inconsistent, right? Because you're getting cards from your opponent's class. You don't know if that's going to be. So, I think this card's probably average, maybe a bit below. The problem with the I want to look up the name of the card. The problem with the draw effect is that it doesn't help your board state. So you have to be like winning hard to be able to pull this off. You might just Echo once, right? Like 2 mana, draw 1. It's okay. Like you'll play it. Hopefully you draw something. You get something that you can utilize. But I'll see people like Echo everything, looking for a 0-cost spell. That saves them the game. They're looking. I don't know. They're looking for Crackling Doom and Shaman. Yeah, that's what they're looking for. They're using their brain. No, that's not really good. What's gonna happen in most situations? So, I think this card is going to be average. So I'll give it a 3. Next up, we have Wanted. Giving this a 4.5. I'm just gonna say it right now. It's a 4 mana deal 3 and get a coin. So it's a 3 mana deal 3, right? Look at it like that, right? That's actually not horrible. You know what? I'm going to bump it up to a 4. It's a 3 mana deal 3. That's how I look at it, and that's not unplayable. But it's not average. And coin's not. The thing is, you have to put the 4 damage investment in, and it only deals damage to minions. You know, why can't this deal damage to a character? If that kills a character, I'll take the victory coin. You know, I don't know. It feels very lackluster. Yeah, it's not unplayable though. It's getting there, but it's not. There are worse cards that have 4 stats that has the 4 rating, I think. But it's not a good card. Avoid it if you can. Spectral Cutlass, Lifesteal 2/2. Whenever you play minion from another class, gain a durability. How often are you gonna be playing a minion from another class? How often are you be playing this instead of Shadowblade? Not often. It's kind of a whatever card. Like, this card does not look good. It reminds me of Tentacle from Warrior. Like the you've got to play this and then Deadly Poison it, and then have a bunch of, and then play Pickpocket, and then play all of the cards from. There's so much requirement to make this card good. I think this card is gonna be quite bad. Maybe it's better than Wanted. I'll give it that, but it's still bad. I'm giving it a 4. Yeah, like, the problem with this is, like, if you want to utilize it well, you're not drafting other weapons, right? Because you're like, oh, I want the durability, so I want more weapons. This should get +1/+1. Then it would be a bit better, I think. But I guess they were scared of constructed, right? That's why they're scared of the constructed value of this card. So sad for it. It's not good in the arena. Faith Collector, add a random legendary minion to your hand with Echo. I like me likey. Me. Oh no, we're not doing that. But I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be pretty great. It's a double gangster, plus you get 3 cards. Seems okay. Seems good. I'll give it the great tag. It's not amazing since the stats are bad, but the effect is great, so I will take it. Trust Greymane. Replay every card from another class you've played this game. Targets turn randomly. That's gonna be hard to utilize effectively, I would say. It's a better than, even if it dies, it still plays the card, so it's nice in that aspect. But it's very inconsistent, hard to predict, hard to get off. How much stealing are you gonna do? How many blink foxes do you have in your deck, right? Yeah, basically it looks okay. I think it's gonna be better than average, but close to it. Maybe it's not great though. Maybe it's average. Maybe it's better than average. Better than average, but it's not amazing. In a lot of games, it's not going to be amazing, but it's going to be. It might help. You gotta be real scared though if you have this in your deck and you're just pulling random cards and you're just like, well, this could bite me in the butt. I'll take a fireball to the face. I don't know. It seems okay, and those are all the rogue cards. Okay, what do I think about the rogue cards in general? Not super impressed, but I think it's going to be okay. I'm giving it a 3. It looks like they've got some average cards. overall, just average. Like, this is like the best cards. Whoopsie. This is like the best card that they got, in my opinion. Oh, Blink Fox is the best card they got. Yeah, Blink Fox and the Cursed Castaway. So those cards are like carrying the rest of the set, because the rest of the set is like whatever, pretty whatever cards. Yeah. Okay. Shaman. I think by the way, I think we're going to, this is all the class cards is going to be one video, and then the neutral cards will be another shorter video, because this is taking a long time and I have to finish this quickly. Witch Apprentice. Taunt, add a random shaman spell to your hand. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good for you, my friend. Random shaman spells are they're like mage spells. They can be amazing or they can be very pointless and useless. And it also has no attack. Right? What are you doing with it? It's not even an elemental. Like, if this was an elemental, I'd say it's a bit better, but it's not an elemental. Yeah, it doesn't look good for you. I think this is average. It's just a sad. It's no Babbling Book. That's what I want to say. Babbling Book is amazing, where this one is not. Yeah, sadly to say. Ghost Light Angler. 2222 Echo. Oh, that's a good card. It's also a Murloc. This is a good card, yeah. I have not seen this one. Haven't seen this card. Yeah, I like it. Okay, yeah, it's a good card. It's on 4, it's a 4/4. On 6, it's a 6/6. Yeah, I like this card. This card is good. Huh. Yeah. Yeah, I like this card. I'm gonna give it a 1.5. 1.54. That's what the word now is. 1.5, yeah. It's good. It's good. It's a good card. It's very flexible and it does its job. Yeah, I like it. Zap. Holy Smite with Overload. That's not bad. It's not bad. Holy Smite is playable. I'll say this is above average. I wouldn't say it's great. It does trigger Overload synergy, which is like that's actually kind of something. Yeah. That is kind of something. Triggering Overload synergy. There's a lot of cards that actually do well with Overload synergy. I don't think we got Overload synergy in this. No, we didn't. So it's just the Overload synergy we have right now. Unbound Elemental, Spellstone, Sentinel. Those are the biggest ones. But I mean, it's not bad. Not a bad card. I think this is 2.5. It's pretty good. It's Holy Smite, but you know, without, but you can ramp out the Holy Smite. You know, don't have to, and you can always play this card. You can always play this card like this. That's nice. That's nice. Like it's like a backstab, but worse. But feels good the turn you play it. Hey. Muck Spark Eel. Okay, not an arena. Doesn't matter. Blazing Invocation. Discover Butter. Battle Cry Minion. That looks sick to me. Battle Cry Minions, I think, have the best power level. Have the strongest power level. So, like Fire Elemental. You know, like, I think this card is gonna be pretty good. Pretty amazing. The only thing that makes, and it's Discover, so you know you don't have to. You're not crying. It's not like, oh, you get a random Battle Cry minion and then you cry about it. I think this is like, it's getting to Stonehill level. Maybe it's better than, yeah. It might be 1.5. Yeah, it feels Stonehill level. And Stonehill is a 1. It might be 0.5. So Stonehill might be 0. Yeah, this is Stonehill level probably. I think it's gonna be Stonehill level. Yeah. Maybe 1.3. I think this guy's gonna be good. Let's move on. Earthen Might. Give a minion +2/+2 with an elemental. Add a random elemental to your hand. This card looks sick. It is more flexible beast. What's the mark of Yashra? Right. You draft elementals, which you should be doing nowadays. I think in Shaman. There are a lot of you can make elemental Shaman pretty well, and you're getting support in the expansions. And even without adding an elemental, giving a minion +2/+2 for 2 mana is pretty good. So I think this is a pretty solid card, pretty great card. No, I don't hate it at all. Up a bit. Show the whole card. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good to me. I don't have an issue with it. Next up, Bog Shaper. It's an elemental, so that's something. Whenever you cast a spell, draw a minion from your deck. So you're probably going to be playing this with synergy. Works with. Oh yeah, Zap. Maybe I have to reevaluate the Zap because you can. It works with all the spell cards, Auctioneer and Violet Teacher, and all that extra stuff. That's a good point. This might be a 2 actually. I'm a bump this up to 2, just because of the synergy it can create. And this card I think is going to be okay. A 4/8 isn't bad stat line, like a 6/8 Bog, but it has like pseudo taunt because you don't want people to be getting free cards for free forever. So this looks pretty solid, I would say. Looks like a 2.5 maybe. Better than average, but I don't think it's like great, but it's pretty good. Like it'll do work for you in the matches. Totem Crusher. Destroy your totems, gain +2 for each destroyed. So you need to kill at least one for it to be average. That sounds so bad to me. Like sometimes I'd rather have a totem than a buffed up minion. I'm not a fan of this card. I think it's not unplayable, but I'm leaning 3.5 here. It's not average. It's worse than average, and it's not bad. It could be good. It could be good, but it's gonna require synergy, and you have to think about it. And you have 5 totems. Lol, that's never gonna happen. You have 3 totems. You play it as a 6/7. They hex it. It doesn't look unplayable, but it doesn't look. Agatha the Witch. We're not gonna see it in Arena unless you discover it. But all the good discovers are. Oh, you can discover Hagatha, right? Yeah. I'm liking this. I'm telling you guys, this is gonna be one. This is a secret one. I'm telling you. Hagatha, if you can play it, then you play it, right? Cutter Walk. Repeat all other battle cries from cards you played this game. This looks okay. Right? Oh, also you can discover this. And that's why it's 9 mana. That's why it's 9 mana. I see what they're doing. So you play the 1 mana card. You discover this. You play this on Tintin. And you're just like la 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 la. Oh my god, that looks nasty. Cause it works like you just draft knowing that that's a possibility. I think you just draft like be aware of your battle cries when you're drafting. I think that's just what you should be doing. Just be aware of your battle. And you can definitely make this work. Like Chain Gang is great, Double Gangster is great, Fire Elemental is big. Jade Claw is leaving, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, there's definitely some ways to make this work. So I'll give it a 2. I think there are going to be some work. Like you can make this work. Okay, that should be the Shaman cards. Hagatha's Hero Power. In case you guys do not know, get a random Shaman spell. Irrelevant. So how's this class looking? Worst card looks to be worst card is the Torch. That's not even a horrible. Yeah, they look like they got some good stuff here. Yeah, I'm not too worried about their class. Yeah, I'm not too worried about their class. I think I'm gonna give it a 2. I don't think they will be struggling too hard. I like it. I like it. Looks okay. Warlock cards. Stealth 1/1. Give a friendly minion 2 health. That looks really good, to be honest. It's stealth 1/1, right? You can play it on 1, and then you can get like a 3/4 very easily. Coin this in flame. Yeah, this card looks good. This card looks really good. Actually, it's a great card to eat, as well. With a lot of the eating cards. This looks pretty good. Is it auto pick though? Is it amazing auto pick? I don't think it is, but it's a good card. I'll put 1.5. I think it's close. It's really solid. Like I could see this being next to Abyssal, but Abyssal's gone. Thank the Lord. Abyssal's gone, but I could see this being next to other power picks. Phoenix Cycle. It's instead of Murlocs, you're getting demons. So I'm gonna rate it just as weak as the other cards. I don't think. I think the Murloc version is like 3.5, so I'm gonna give this the same stuff. Being a demon doesn't really make it better. There's synergy with this, probably, but on average, it's not going to be better than average. Better than a 4 or 4. Dustbat. If your hero take damage this turn, summon 2/1/1 bats. So you can tap and play this on 5, and it would be a 4-drop. Basically a 4-drop. How do you do this on? All right. So on turn 3, it's a 2. Like the 2. I think this is average. Since you can't, how do you trigger this on turn 3? You can't, right? Unless you're coining. You coin the library. If you play this on turn 3, I don't think it's good. So you have to play this later on, turn 5. It works with Blood Witch, but Blood Witch is a 4-drop. If this was a 2-drop, I could see it, but it's not. So I'm gonna give the Dustbat an average card. Not gonna. You're not. Blooded Witch, at the start of your turn, slowly kill yourself. Yes. Yes. Warlocks, kill yourself. Ha 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 ha. 4 mana 3/6 stat line is actually pretty good. And it's probably gonna last 2. It's kind of like a flame imp. That can activate others. It's actually not horrible. Like it looks like, oh, you know, you're killing yourself, but it's, yeah, it's like a flame imp. If you look at it that way, then I guess that's fair. And there are ways to life steal in this meta. So I think this card's going to be good. It's gonna be. Like, people are too scared of taking 1 damage. Like, what's the difference between 3 and 0 and your opponent? Nothing. I mean, okay, 3 and 1. 3 and 0, that matters. Yeah, but 3 and 1, nothing. I think this guy's gonna be good. It's a Cobalt Monk, and I think Cobalt Monk is great. So I'm gonna put it 2.45. No, maybe it's just 2. It's either 2 or 2.5, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it as a 2. I'm gonna stick to my guns here. As a 2. Curse of Weakness. Give all enemy minions -2 attack until your next. This card is interesting because it could be fantastic. It could be. Let me put the cost. It could be whatever. So if you can set up a board and then you Curse of Weakness twice and then all minions -4 attack and then you just trade, that's disgusting. And then there are like synergies with it too. There is a neutral horror, Shadowblade horror that you could definitely pull off with this. Also Void Terror. Void Terror, Cobalt Monk, Praised Alchemist. That's nasty, right? That's real nasty, right? They play Sleepy Dragon. You double Curse of Weakness, and then you. Oh my god, that's so nasty! Wow, holy moly! Okay, that's upping it. I'm upping this because of that synergy. Is so nasty. Holy moly! Yeah, I'm gonna put this as great. I'm gonna put this as great. People are gonna like make this card obnoxious. Oh my god, Curse of Weakness, Void Terror. Oh my god, that's so nasty. Yeah, I'm gonna up this to great. This card is going to be sick. Dark Convection, deal 2 damage to a friendly character, discover a demon. I actually think the deal 2 damage to a friendly character is going to be irrelevant. You're going to put it on a 5. You're gonna ping a 5/3 and trade it into a 5/5 or something. It's not going to matter. And at the very worst, you're full life. Then you hit yourself, and you're like whatever. Or you play a 1-drop and then you hit it. Like you don't care as much. And there are a lot of powerful demons. I think you can get cards like Abyssal. You can get cards like the 5 mana deal 1 to everything, Dread Inferno, Void Lord. There's a lot of Duke Guards. There are a lot of powerful demons. There's a lot of legendary demons as well. Jiraxis. Right, there's a lot of power cards. I think this card's going to be good. Yeah, Battle Cry I think is a bit better, but I think this card's going to be quite good, quite powerful. Yeah, I think so too. If your hero took life, damage this turn, gain lifesteal. It's a 5 mana 4/6 with lifesteal. This card's nuts. This card's nuts, man. Like, this card is nuts. Even if you tap and play this, you don't care. Like, this card is sick. Holy moly. Yep, yep. You're going to be a fan of this card. Cobalt Librarian into Death Web Spider. Holy moly, macaroni. This card is great. Like, lifesteal in Warlock. Lol. With a good minion. What a life we live, man. What a life we live. This card's gonna be good. I already know. Ratcatcher. Rush. Destroy a minion, gain its attack and health. So basically, you destroy a minion and you get to eat something, right? You're not going to. What's nice is that you can play a minion and then play Ratcatcher and eat the minion you just played to kind of give it charge. Also, you could also use like the cards that can't attack, like the 2 mana 4/5 and the 3 mana 4/8. Just eat those, and then you've won the game. Honestly, you eat the 4/8, you have a 6/10 with Rush. Yeah, that's pretty nice. However, on average, it's probably going to be average. I think so. It's probably a 3. I could see the way you make it work. I could see a way to make it work. So, but I think on average, it's going to be okay. If it was a 3/3, it would be amazing, but it's not. So, Glinda Crowskin. Minions in your hand have Echo. You have to protect this, but if you can protect this, the game is over. If this thing survives 2 turns, this thing is over. The game is over. Yeah. Yeah. This card can win you the game by itself. That's insane. Yeah. It just has to survive. Like, you clear the board and you play this. Or you play this on turn 10 and you play 4 Cobalt Librarians. That doesn't sound fair, it's not, You can play 4 Voodoo Doctors for all I care. You're still laughing. Yeah, this card's nuts. This card's nuts. Yeah. Lord Jeffrey. This is another 0.5. I think it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's clear the board, have a 4/4. Like, that's what it says in a lot of cases. Like, if they have a big minions, clear the board, have a 4/4, which is sick. For 7 mana, you can still tap. You can still play minions. Yeah. It's a Psychic Scream. Plus, get a 4/4. Yeah, I don't know. This card is nutters. This card is disgustingly crazy. Holy moly. What is this? What is that? Okay. Their cards look good, honestly. Yeah, Fini Circle lowers it. I think they're looking like a 2. Well, no, it's because their legendaries are nuts, right? I should ignore that. They're not legendary cards, they're not nuts. Like, the best card is like Possession, Spider, Curse, which are good. It might be 2.5. Yeah, I think the fact that their nuts cards are legendaries lowers the value of the overall card pool, so I'll put 2.5. Last but not least, we have Warrior. Warrior cards. Warpath. Deal 1 damage to all minions. That's okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Pretty nice. Pretty good card. Yeah. It's like a Flame Strike for Warrior. Or you have Frothing Berserker, and you just win. Frothing Berserker. and then you just win. Yeah, you legit will smack him for like 17 or something, and the game is over at that point. Yeah, yeah. Warpath looks nice. I think this card's pretty amazing. Like it's a board clear, like from a class that doesn't really reliably have board clears or damage pings, and you can play this on 2. It plays, this is great. I think this card's nasty. Nasty card. Woodcutter's Axe. Give 2/1 to a friendly minion with rush. The stat should be swapped. It should say give +1/+2 to a friendly rush minion. It's also Death Rattle, so you have to like work at it. You have to work into it. 2-mana 2/2 weapon is I would say average. So it's probably a bit better than average. So I'd say it's a 2.5, but it's close to it. It might even just be average. These days, I would say these days are you need better things. I would say this card is average, like not amazing, but just average. Raven Warrior 3/3 with Rush. Ooh, I'm a fan of this. Russian Echo? Nah, this is be too broken. But yeah, I'm a fan of this. Like 3-mana 3/3 is okay. Like it's playable. And then being able to donk at 3/2 immediately is also really nice. Like you trying to play Mana Worm against me? Ha. Get out of that. Don't you try that worm against me. And you try and you can just donk some things. And you could also hit 0 attack minions. I mean, this looks good, like a solid minion. It might be better than average. Yeah, it's better than average, I would say. Rush is powerful. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, that's a powerful effect. What's next? Military Commander. I already know this thing is nasty. This thing is a 5/5 with charge, and then you get to keep like a 2/3 or 2/2 or 2/3 for 4 mana. It's sick. It's so good. Yeah. It's a really powerful card because you get to clear favorably and leave a minion for that the opponent has to deal with. Right? You're basically you kill a minion for 4 mana, and then your opponent has to deal with the leftover card. It's nice. It's really good. I think this card is sick. Like I would pick. You take a lot of these if you can. Red Band Wasp has 3 damage while damaged. So what's gonna happen is you're either going to combo this with AOE effect, something like Warpath or Ghoul or whatever. Well, Ghoul's leaving, so it's not Ghoul, but like Warpath or the weapons, any weapon, a lot of weapons with AOE effects. Blood Razor. Or you're just gonna hit a 2/1 or a 1/1 and leave a 4/2 or a 4/1. I think this card is decent. Like I think it's better than average. I don't think it's great because of the inconsistency of the card, but I think this card is solid. I think it's a 2.5. Next up we've got Fester Root Hulk. After a friendly minion attacks, gain 1 attack. So you need 2 minions to attack, and then it will be a Nesting Rock. Otherwise, it is it's a 4-drop. So it's hovering between a 4-drop and a 5-drop. Like you don't care if this thing's a 7/7. Like it doesn't really matter. I think this card is average actually. Like it'll probably be like a 3/4, a 3/7 for 5, which is average. So I'll give it average stats. Not too impressed by this card. A Deadly Arsenal. Reveal a weapon in your deck. Deal its attack to all minions. I don't really like this card in Arena. What are you picking? I'll just take Arcanite Reapers and Gorehouse. That's it. No, you want all the weapons for Spellstones, so I don't think it's going to be amazing. You'd much rather have a Warpath, I think. It's inconsistent as well, and it hurts all your minions. It hurts all It hurts all. Like, if it's a deal, it's attack to all minions and double to all enemy minions. Then I'd be like, okay, alright, now we have something here, you know. Now it's a board clear, but I'm not a big fan. And if you have no weapons in your deck, like you draw it all, then well, it's not very helpful. And there's also a lot of 1 mana attack weapons. Like Molten Blade, right? You can't pick Molten Blade with this. You can't pick you can pick Upgrade. And you can pick Nazoth. There are 1 mana, 1/3 weapons. It is, but it's not a minion. It's not a weapon. It's a little bit better, but it doesn't look good. It's still a board clear, so I'll give it 3. But I'm not impressed by it. I'm not impressed at all. It costs a lot. If it costs 5, it might be better. But yeah. Town Crier, draw a rush minion from your deck. I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of drawing cards. I'm a fan of early game 1/2s. Right? It's a Firefly. That's it's a better Firefly. Like, honestly, that's what you should think about it. And Firefly is amazing. So, like, people who are sleeping on this card, they are sleeping on this card. This card is pretty sick. I'm gonna give it 1, and I don't think after you play with it, I think you guys are gonna agree. So I'm not even worried about that. Next thing, Darius Crowler. Whenever it attacks and kills a minion, gain +2/+2. So what you're gonna be doing with this, you're gonna hit a nothing. You're gonna hit a weak minion with this, right? You're gonna hit a 0/1 or something, and then you're gonna get a 6/6 for 5, right? And then they're like, oh, I have to kill that, you know, because then it's gonna keep growing, which is okay, right? Like, you know, if you can clear the board too with this, it's you hit like a 3/3 or something. Like, that's the only thing you need to clear, and then you get a what, a 6/3 or something. Yeah. And then if they can't clear it, then you have to kill a 2-attack minion. They're not gonna play a 2-attack. Better than average though. I think it's a 2.5. It's hard to play with. Like, you have to kind of play around the card, but it could win you a game, but it's rare. And with more rush cards, like, you're gonna have more cards that can, like, go back into it too. So I'm not too hopeful about this guy. Not too hopeful about him. And then Black Howl Gunspire. Can't attack. Whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. So I guess you play this and then you Warpath, right? You just Warpath over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. This also works with the Blood Razor. I could see it. That might have been allowed. But on average, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The fact that it's random enemy, meaning that it can hit your face, that might be good for you. I don't know. And also, like, this is going to be hard to clear. Oh, you're right. Yeah, this is going to be hard to clear. How do you clear this? You can't ping it. You fireball it, and it still deals 3 damage. Yeah, okay. I see why it's a legendary. Okay. Yeah, because this is gonna be annoying to clear. Oh, you're gonna like avoid. You're gonna like not attack this, and then you're gonna like smack. You're gonna Warpath you, or they're gonna Blood Razor you, and you're just like, no, don't do this to me. I think this card, actually, now that I look at it, yeah, it's probably gonna be great. Okay, I see. You have to draft around it, but if you can draft around this thing, yeah, it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty. Yeah, I could see it. I see why it's a legendary. Okay. Alright, that's fair. That is fair. Alright. And those are all of the cards, the class cards. And this was like a 3-hour thing or 2-hour thing. Yeah, so what do I think about Warrior? I think they got decent cards actually. Yeah, Warpath is sick, and so is Military Commander, and so is Town Crier. Yeah, they got some good cards. They actually got some good cards. Yeah, like there's nothing that's like unplayable, like strictly unplayable. Like you got, I'll give it a 2. Damn, Druid got the worst, and Rogue got quite bad cards too. Okay, so if we look at the class expansion, it looks like Priest got the king. Priest is king here, just because of like the cards they got are so sick though. Like, look at this card is disgusting. This card is disgusting. This card could be disgusting. This card's disgusting. This card is okay, but it could be good. This card's pretty solid. This card's like the weakest card, and it's not even horrible. And then there's legendaries. Like their commons are so disgusting. Like, what is this? What is this? Nasty stuff. And Mage got some good stuff too. Mage, Bonfire Elemental, like the king here, just destroying. Like, and then Book of Spectrals also be powerful. There's definitely some hope here. And then Shaman, it looks innocent, but I think this is like their best card that they got. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it looks innocent, but it's pretty sick. And then this is really powerful. Like, it looks so innocent too, but this card like is a early game card, a mid game card, a late game card. You draft so many of these. I would at least. It's so good. And Bog Shaper is like unassuming, but getting free minions. Like, people are gonna attack into this card, so looks solid. And then you can discover this. It's not an elemental, so that it loses out on that synergy, but definitely looks solid. And then the rest of I'm not gonna go through everything, but I will go through Druid, right? Like, after going through everything, right? Like, look at this. Like, what is this doing for you? Like, nothing. What is this doing for you? This is like the best card that they got too. It's like, okay, like, what is this doing for you? Shield block, lol, you know, what is this doing for you? Nothing. It's gonna die for free, and they might not even kill it because it doesn't do anything. It just gets, like, if they have no cards, they're just gonna leave it alive. What is this gonna do for you? It's very inconsistent. This could be good, but it's a more expensive Twilight Dragon. Like, why is that? Why, you know? Make it 4 costs, but then it'd be really good. Cause I know it would. Yeah, you'd get some kind of Druid lock combo, right? I know what you're talking about. This is like a decent card, but you're not gonna see it in Arena. And then this is like, this could be okay though. And then this card is bad, in my opinion. And this card is like their best card, but it's a legendary, so you'll rarely see it. So they really didn't get a lot. They didn't get a lot of good things. All in all, I think that is going to be the review of the class cards in for the Witchwood expansion. We shall be doing the neutral cards later. And thank you guys for sticking by. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it wasn't too long, and have a nice day.